Today, we're making Chipotle lime jerky. It's hunting season, and there are lots of opportunities to get game from some of your friends. One of my buddies gave me an entire elk hind quarter, which if you haven't seen before, is absolutely huge. I got 31 pounds of meat after butchering it myself, and I had a few odds and ends pieces that weren't quite big enough for roast, and I wanted to turn those into jerky. Now, if you don't have some elk around, you could always do it with beef, because the results are going to be pretty similar.
The first thing that you do when you pick up your meat is look at the direction of the grain. Cut following the grain for chewy jerky, or against the grain for more tender jerky. The choice is yours, but I prefer a more tender piece. The most important thing is that you cut each strip evenly so that way they finish at the same time. You're looking for strips that are between 1/8 and 1/4 inch thick. A sharp knife helps, but you can put it in the freezer for an hour to help firm up. Elk is naturally lean and rich in flavor. The color is a deep purple, can be cooked similar to beef. The full recipe is in the description, but the marinade contains soy sauce, salt, curing salt number 1, and chipotle peppers. Now I used 4, which was about right, but you can always add more or less to taste depending on how spicy you want it. Next, add the juice of 2 limes. Frozen or concentrate is just not going to be as good. It's not a substitute for fresh. And then add the lime zest for an extra kick. You could also add garlic and onion powder to increase some of the savory notes, but blend it all together until it's smooth. Pour the marinade over the meat in a plastic zipper bag. Then get out as much of the air as possible and mix it all together to coat each piece. Put it in the fridge for at least 6 hours or as long as 24. Now the flavor is going to be stronger the longer that it sits.
One of the questions that people are sure to have as they watch this recipe is why are you using curing salts in your jerky? Now the USDA recommends that you use curing salts in all homemade jerky because it reduces the bad bacteria content, makes it safer to eat, and more shelf-stable.
After it's done marinating, I put the meat on the trays, leaving plenty of space for air to circulate. But you could probably go a little bit closer than I did, just make sure that it's not touching. My 9-tray dehydrator is big enough to do nearly 3 batches of jerky in one go. So you want to turn your dehydrator as high as it'll go for the first hour or so before turning it down to 145. And for me, that's 165 degrees Fahrenheit in the Excalibur. The USDA recommends heating your meat to 160 degrees Fahrenheit before dehydrating, but even at the higher temperatures in the smoker, the internal temp of the meat remains in the danger zone until it's nearly dry, which does not kill all the bacteria. That's the main reason why I use curing salt when preparing the jerky. After about 5 hours of drying, the jerky is done. You're going to know it's done when the jerky cracks, but doesn't break when you bend it. And this recipe came out tasting amazing.
So whether or not you have a dehydrator or a smoker, it's pretty easy to make your own homemade jerky as long as you follow a few of those safety steps. Now I made another recipe using Hey Grill Hay's peppered beef jerky recipe, and that one turned out pretty good. Mrs. Grilltop Experience really liked it, and so I put that in the description below if you want to check out another video with some pretty good jerky, and don't forget to tell her hi for me.